Hello, my name is Letitia, and this is my first YouTube video. I'm looking forward to becoming more involved in the YouTube BookTube community, hearing your helpful feedback, and collaborating with other booktubers. I enjoy reading a plethora of genres within the fiction and nonfiction categories, including science fiction, adventure, mystery, thriller, young adult, cooking, self-help, travel, and especially autobiographies, biographies, and memoirs. As time goes on, I plan to have a routine regimen of book reviews and recommendations of books that I read for each month, including at least one autobiography, biography, or memoir, preferably within that person's birthday month, or depending on when that book is available. I look forward to hearing from you about what you liked about the books that I review or recommend. Whether you liked it and would read it. I would also like to know about books that you would suggest that I read or think that I would like to read. Today, I will be reviewing 3 books for my October wrap-up, and they are My Sister, the Serial Killer by O.Braithwaite, The Hollow 47 by Amanda Aggie, and the autobiography for today is Kamala Harris, The Truths We Hold, An American Journey. My Sister, the Serial Killer is about 2 sisters, Ayula and Corday. The story starts out with Ayula, the younger sister, calling her older sister Corday to tell her, "I killed him." Her third victim, words that Corday had hoped she'd never hear again. Corday, Ayula's older sister, is a nurse, and as a result of her career, she is very knowledgeable about how to clean and mask the scent of bloodstains. She's very meticulous about how to clean and remove blood and disposing of dead bodies, to the point of seeming OCD. Corday has truly taken on her role as Big Sister, a title that her mother gave her the day that Ayula was born, so that she would always remember to look after her younger sister. And Corday has chosen to take on this role even to this extreme. Ayula, the beautiful one, as Corday had realized long ago since secondary school, is a fashion designer and owns her own fashion business, for which she gained the capital to take the course and get this business started from one of her male admirers, who possibly ends up being another one of her victims. So Corday has a crush on a co-worker, Tade, a doctor. That is, until her sister Ayula insists on having lunch with her at the hospital, even after Corday asked her not to come to her place of work. Inevitably, and you may have guessed it, Ayula ends up meeting and dating Dr. Tade. Corday had hoped that he would be able to see Ayula for who she was, but he didn't. Instead, he buys her an engagement ring that she never receives. As the story goes on, there are interactions with other characters, their mother, family members, co-workers, friends, and recollections of other family, friends, and acquaintances from the past. The story takes place in modern-day Lagos, Nigeria. It is written in first person and is narrated by Corday, the older sister. The chapters are short, beautifully detailed, and engaging, which makes this book a quick, easy read. I can imagine watching this story on television or even in a movie. There are a few African terms used throughout this book also. They refer to types of foods, clothing, names, places, and spoken vernacular, which definitely brings some authenticity to the story. I saw this book on YouTube a few times. The large neon print coupled with this picture of this mysterious woman really piqued my interest. I have also watched a few video interviews of Miss Braithwaite. This is her first book debut. I enjoy reading this book. It was a good read. However, I was expecting more towards the ending. And who knows, she may come back with a sequel. If you are looking for a good, quick, entertaining read, then I would recommend this book. And I look forward to reading her next book. What did you think about this book? Have you read it yet? Will you read it? And if you have any suggestions about other books that you think that I would like to read, please comment below. Let me know. When secrets from the past come back to haunt 5 of Salem, Missouri's finest, they are forced to return to the scene of the crime. Mason, Eliza, Jim, Craig, Valerie, and Tony went on their last trip before high school graduation. A camping trip at the Salem Hollow. Because of a prank, one of the boys, Tony, was found unconscious at the bottom of a ravine. He lived the rest of his life in a mental institution where he later committed suicide. The story revolves around the now 5 adults and their children. Mason Porter, the town sheriff and father of Maggie Porter. His wife Penelope died a few years prior. Eliza Miller, the school principal. Jim Breener, the high school teacher. Valerie Malloy, the mayor. And Greg Malloy, owner of the Malloy Diner franchise. They are also the parents of Maggie's best friend, Nancy Malloy. While from the outside, this Midwestern town in Salem, Missouri, appears to be the typical small town. It has secrets that are yet untold, and a history of gang violence. The town's outskirts is known as the Salem Hollow, which housed the historical site of the 47 settlers, a religious cult that wanted to make their own community away from evil in the world, such as technology and society. Well, months later, they were found, 47 dead. So, the story starts at the police station. Mason Porter, the town sheriff, hears the bell that indicates that the front door was open. He wondered who would be there after hours. The door is locked at 6 o'clock on the weekdays, and the lights went out at 7 o'clock. Only someone with the key on the payroll could enter. Since he was the only one there tonight, he cautiously went down the long, dark hallway towards the entrance, where he found a burnt orange folder with his name written on it in bold black letters. He picked up the folder, poured the contents into his hands, and caught a shiny metal object There was a class ring with class of 1989, his high school graduation year, engraved in the silver medal. He also found a picture of himself, his wife, and 5 other friends, which was taken during their senior year. He then notices crimson red lettering on the exposed flap of the message that said, "I know what you did and I'm coming for you." He immediately knew that it had something to do with the camping trip that he and his friends took right before graduation. Soon after, each of his friends in the picture received threatening notes which labeled them by the part that they played in the said murder, each label written in blood. Mason's daughter Maggie and the Malloy's daughter Nancy, who were best friends, also received a note and a CD, which explains why the stranger has to kill their parents. The two of them, along with Maggie Porter, along with Maggie's new Vipers gang boyfriend from the North Side, Kai, find themselves involved in a tumultuous turn of events. The Hollow 47 by Amanda Aggie is a psychological thriller written in omniscient narrator form. I chose this book because I thought that it would be a good choice for an October Halloween read, and I was right. The title in red print really stood out. This book was very entertaining, like watching a movie, and I finished in a few hours. And I would definitely recommend this book. What do you think about this story? Please comment and let me know. Kamala D.V. Harris was born in Oakland, California on October 20th, 1964, the eldest daughter of Donald Harris from Jamaica and Shamala Gopalin from India. She graduated from Howard University in 1986, where she majored in political science and economics. She became a social justice activist, chaired the Economic Society, competed in the debate team, and pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She later attended the University of California Hastings College of Law in San Francisco and became a lawyer in 1990. Kamala comes from a family background that supports political activism, civic leadership, and higher education. Both of her parents were scholars, and both attended the University of California at Berkeley, where they met while participating in a civil rights movement. Her father studied economics and became an economics professor, while her mother had applied to a graduate program after she graduated from the University of Delhi when she was 19 years old. She received her PhD in nutrition and endocrinology so that she could become a breast cancer researcher the same year that Kamala was born. 2 years later, Kamala's sister Maya would also be born, but their parents separated and later divorced not long after. I see that a lot of candidates who run for political office usually have an autobiography, biography, or a memoir. And I believe it is usually so that we can get to know them, who they are and what they've done in their career, throughout their career. And in this book, it is stated that it's not meant to be a policy platform, but a collection of ideas, viewpoints, and stories from Kamala Harris's life and from the lives of many people that she met along the way. In the first chapter, For the People, Kamala reminisces about the first time she walked into Alameda County Superior Courthouse in Oakland, California as an employee. In 1988, the last summer of law school, she and 9 others had been offered summer internship in the district attorney's office. She had sensed that she wanted to be a prosecutor. Earl Warren led the office before becoming Attorney General of California, and later one of the most influential Chief Justices of the U.S. Supreme Court. On this morning, while she was on her way to an orientation meeting, she thought about Earl Warren's words proclaiming segregation inherently unequal. She was grateful because, though she was not aware of it as a child, she had learned that her elementary class was the second class in her city to be desegregated through busing. I actually purchased the paperback version of Kamala Harris's The Truth We Hold. And as you can see, it has a 7-year-old Kamala Harris with a serious facial expression, which makes me wonder what was happening during this time. I don't know what was going on in this moment or what she was thinking in this moment. But I believe that this was during the time that her class was being desegregated through busing, which was indeed a serious matter. During Kamala Harris's summer internship, she talks about a case involving a drug bust. A number of individuals in a raid, including an innocent bystander, a woman who had been in the wrong place at the wrong time. And after only reviewing a report and questioning a personal concern about this woman and her family, Kamala pleaded that the clerk of the court had the case called that day. The lady was able to see a judge who ruled she was free to be with her children and responsibilities. This moment, and she says that it was in this moment that proved how much it mattered to have compassion for others, and that this was what helped her decide on what kind of work that she wanted to do. Kamala Harris talks about people that she met throughout her career as a lawyer. Friends, family, acquaintances, and how she gained promotion from Alameda County District Attorney's Office and then elected to District Attorney of San Francisco. As California's Attorney General, she talks about prosecuting transitional gangs, big banks, big oil, for-profit colleges, fighting against attacks on the Affordable Care Act, fighting to reduce elementary school truancy, pioneering the nation's first open data initiative to expose racial disparities in the criminal justice system, and implementing implicit bias training for police officers. This book was an exceptionally good read. A few things that I particularly liked about it was the preface. It painted an engaging picture of what happened throughout the day and the overall mood and feeling of everyone according to the events that took place that night. I also like that Kamala Harris talks about the role that her parents, extended family, and family friends played in helping her gain her accomplishments. And among many other things, I particularly enjoyed reading about when Kamala Harris, her mother and sister, moved to Montreal, Canada to live. Her mother had a unique opportunity to teach at McGill University and conduct research at the Jewish General Hospital. If you are interested in knowing more about Kamala Harris's life, then I recommend that you read this book. Thank you for watching. Bye.